let's say you're already resistance training, you're already doing cardiovascular training. What can you do to build up your tenacity and willpower for application in not just that endeavor, but other endeavors? Well, pick something that you don't want to do. These are what I call, in a very non-scientific way, microsucks. These things suck, but they suck a little bit, and they're safe, right? You have to pick things that are safe for you. But they suck enough that they require some effort. They require getting over some friction, engaging in something that you don't reflexively want to do. So for instance, that might be one extra set at the end of a round of 3 to 5 sets of a given exercise. Or it could be, for instance, 100 jumping jacks at the end of what you consider a hard run. It could be, for instance, finishing out that language lesson and then deciding to do 5 minutes of sitting still, thinking about the material that you learned when you so desperately want to just jump on your phone, right? Pick circumstances where the degree of resistance is very high, where the degree of impulse to do something else than the thing that you know you need to do is very high, and then start applying those on a regular basis. It could be after every workout. It could be in the middle of the workout. For instance, some people have a really hard time not looking at their phone during a workout. I like to listen to podcasts or music during a workout, but I really try and resist text messaging and reading email and things of that sort while working out. So the harder that becomes, the more I think about it and the more I resist it, the more presumably activation of the anterior mid-cingulate cortex I'm getting and that you would get as well. So these little microsucks, like, it sucks not to look at the phone right now. It sucks to do 100 jumping jacks at the end of a run. Of course, if you're excited to do the 100 jumping jacks at the end of the run, that's not going to be a good avenue into activating and increasing the volume of your anterior mid-cingulate cortex. Everything we've talked about up until now supports the statement I just made. Easy tasks, desirable tasks, don't do it. It's the thing you don't want to do. So imparting these little microsucks can be very useful. You'll have to think about what particular microsucks you incorporate into your exercise routines, your cognitive routines, and your daily routines, and how often. I don't think you need to go completely berserk on this, doing them all day long. But keep in mind that these are the sorts of behaviors and resistance of behaviors, because again, certain microsucks might be, if you're somebody who practices intermittent fasting, we don't want to send you into the realm of eating disorder, but maybe you really do wait an extra 15 minutes before your usual first mealtime, which for me would really suck. That might even move from microsuck into macrosuck, because I like to eat when I'm hungry, but waiting a few extra minutes for no other reason than allowing oneself to activate that anterior mid-cingulate cortex circuitry would be one way to try and build up one's tenacity and willpower. So at some level, this should all seem pretty logical. It actually doesn't even require a firm understanding of the underlying neuroscience for it to kind of make sense, right? You want to do something, you resist doing it. That's building up tenacity and willpower. You don't really want to do something, you do it. That's building up tenacity and willpower. Well, I do believe, in fact, there's a lot of data to support the fact that our understanding of the mechanisms underneath things like tenacity and willpower can be very advantageous when trying to carry out these different types of behaviors to increase tenacity and willpower. Why? Well, today we learned that there's a huge variety of contexts in which one can activate the anterior mid-cingulate cortex, which means that it's not cardiovascular exercise per se. It's not resisting the cookie per se, right? It's not waiting 15 more minutes to eat or making sure that you sit still and don't look at your phone at the end of a learning bout and really think about what you learned a little bit more, even though it really, really sucks to do that. It's really hard. It creates a lot of agitation. It's not about any one of those protocols, if you will, per se. Rather, it's about deliberate engagement in the behaviors that we least want to do in a given moment. Or if you're trying to build up willpower and tenacity to not engage in certain types of behaviors, it's about our ability to suppress behavioral action.